my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our keynote speaker for this morning. She is an individual who is results-oriented. She has 13 years experience in development and improving strategic plans to advance initiatives domestically and globally. She is passionate about increasing access for educational opportunities from the underserved communities. A graduate of the School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University. She has a master's degree. And from the University of California, Berkeley, a BA in International Development. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Senior Management for Governmental Affairs at PepsiCo, Bernadette Carrillo-Hobson. Let's give her an alpha welcome.
First and foremost, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to be here. Daniel, thank you for the invitation. David, for the nice introduction. So let's get started. 4 years ago, I left California for DC to obtain a master's degree at the School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University with the hopes that I could help rewrite the narrative by which my community has come to be defined. Yes, my friends, this Chicana is not only an optimist and a dreamer, but also came to DC with a plan. I came to DC with 3 initial goals: to work at the U.S. Department of State and live out my inner Latina Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice, to work at the White House, and to find a way back to Mexico City. With a lot of determination, hard work, and perseverance, somehow I accomplished my goals and exceeded them well beyond what I could have ever imagined. I had the opportunity to see firsthand how policy is created, advanced, and decisions are made. Through this experience, I learned so much about the institutions and the people that create the policies that govern and protect and advance our freedoms. Despite the challenges and competing priorities, their passion for their work and the lives they impact drove them forward. Whereas in the private sector, I've also experienced the role business plays to spur and support economic growth for local communities, and have also seen firsthand the possibilities available and the problems that can be solved when the private and public sector come together to collaborate. Despite these amazing experiences, I continue to be reminded of the critical need for my community to be in non-traditional spaces, such as international relations, business, trade, and the energy sector, so that our voice and perspective shape the narrative by which the communities we live in have the chance to succeed, so that local economic development is equitable. As I look back on a journey that began in 2005, I know that none of the things that I have accomplished today happened without my resilience to stand up each time I have failed. And trust me, I have failed many times, but I believe, or rather I know, that it's in the depths of your deepest failure when you learn who you are and whether you have the strength to stand up and move forward. We call this ganas. Do you have the ganas? You see, in 2005, I enrolled in my first night class at San Francisco City College. I arrived to community college with a GED and the hopes that I could transfer to university and no longer allow a statistic to define me as another Latina high school dropout. And so that I could put myself in a position to no longer support the managing director, but be one myself, and help create the policies necessary to ensure my community has access to opportunity. It took 5 years to get through community college while working full-time in the financial sector. Along the way, I was told by a school counselor that I would never be able to transfer to university, that my GPA was not high enough, that I didn't have enough math, and it would take me forever to get through community at college. But I applied anyway, and the first line of my essay to UC Berkeley read, "My hands are wrapped, gloves on, laces tied. I am alone, but I am not afraid. Yes, in my spare time, I am a boxer and a Muay Thai person." In April of 2010, the day I walked through Sather Gate on the UC Berkeley campus, I defied the statistics. It was transformative and a moment that I'll never forget. I was now the first in my family to go to college, and with that also carried an important responsibility to not only carry my family forward, but also my community. I have never forgotten that moment, the struggle it took to get there, and the people that had my back along the way, and the emotion I felt. The day I walked through Souther Gate opened the door to a world of possibilities. It brought me here to DC, where I had the chance to walk my family through the White House. I was a part of history. And I shook the hand of the president and said, "Sir, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve in your administration." And then, like a true Latina, I cried. Since the day I walked through Souther Gate in 2010, it's been my personal mission to carve out a new path and open new doors for my community to walk through, so that we have the opportunity to rewrite the narrative by which we have been defined. But before this can happen, we must uncover what Octavio Paz calls solitude, truth, so that when we become the architects of a new framework that defines the course of our nation and its history, the hope is that we ask ourselves, do we repeat past missteps, or do we take the chance and do something different and be inclusive? So with that, Alpha, to rewrite the narrative for our community, we need leaders of character. I know a few. There's a lot of you out here. And if you have the ganas, I ask you, no, I challenge you to be bold, be different, stand up, and walk through the door, because the future of our community depends on you to rewrite the narrative. Thank you.